Well, let's speak now to Wadah Khanfar, the president of the Sharq Forum. He joins us now live from London. Thanks so much for speaking to us. Even as evidence is piling up, if you listen to President Trump now, it's easy to get the feeling that Saudi may not actually be held accountable here if a murder was committed. Where do you see this going?
If it comes to Trump, definitely the Saudis, especially Mohammed bin Salman, the crown prince, will be, will go away with it. But it seems to me that it is difficult even for Trump to do that, because the public opinion, media, and of course the senators and congressmen from both parties are now demanding much more from Trump than what he can offer. Trump was trying during the last few days to come up with a new narrative, saying that I have $110 billion of arms deal with Saudi Arabia, which I don't want to sacrifice. Then he came up with the scapegoat for the Saudis by suggesting the rogue elements. But both of these narratives are not actually sufficient to cover up on the crime itself. And I see it is very difficult for the administration to continue playing the PR exercise for Mohammed ibn Salman. And I think eventually he has to do something about it. We don't know exactly what, but I am sure that the public opinion and what's happening in media, which is very important for the first time, and I am proud to say as a journalist that international media is taking this matter very serious, and they are pursuing justice for Jamal and his case more than what we have seen in any other case, which makes it difficult for Trump to put his personal relationship above the demands that are internationally mounting up against the Saudis.
We will just have to see how many cards the U.S. really holds in the end here. But tell me, from your perspective, legally going forward, what would be the most fair process? What would you like to see happen?
I would like to see that the people who committed the crime, not only the operators who might be blamed for it, but the decision makers, and this is the most important thing, especially the crown prince of Saudi Arabia. He must not be allowed to govern this kingdom. He has proven many times, and the latest was Jamal Khashoggi case, that he is not fit to govern a very important country like Saudi Arabia. And Al Saud has many people who could do much better than what he did. Therefore, the international society should demand his departure and should push for reforms in Saudi Arabia and should stop this kind of deterioration which we have witnessed during the last few months more than any other moment in the history of the region. And that would be the beginning of something that could restore the dignity and freedom of the public in the region, and especially in the Arab world, where we can again think of the future as a bright one rather than as a dark, miserable, grim future that these authoritarian regimes are pushing us towards.
And that is what I actually wanted to ask you next. I mean, if there's a scenario being painted now that Saudi leadership is looking for a fall guy of sorts. It may, some have said the Consul General himself may prove that person. If that is the grim reality in the end, what kind of precedent do you see being set?
It is a precedent that the money is above dignity, that the Americans and the Europeans are thinking of us in the region as just a source of getting more and more money by blackmailing corrupt regimes and by actually squeezing them to get more. What they are telling us that we care only about your money, we don't care about your blood, we don't care about your dignity, we don't care about your freedom. You are not equal to us, you are not a humans like us. This is the message, unfortunately, which repeatedly has been now sent to us in the region by the American administration and by many Western governments. In my opinion, it is eventually going to be in the hand of the people in the region and in the hand of those who are thinking of the future of the region and their allies of those who love freedom and democracy across the world to fight this battle until the end. If we leave it for politicians, if we leave it for corporate leaders, they will definitely put their direct, narrow-minded, tactical interest above the strategic or moral or ethical dimension of this case. This is why, as journalists and public opinion, as leaders of any institution, civil society groups, must continue fighting for justice for Jamal case and continue fighting for other people who are thousands of them are still in jail in our region, unfortunately, in the Arab world, where the counter-revolution has succeeded in murdering the only hope that we had in our reality, which is the Arab Spring that started in 2011 and was murdered in 2013.
Okay, Wadah Khanfar, president of the Sharq Forum. Unfortunately, we're going to have to leave it there. Thanks so much for joining us.